This is probably one of the best episodes of RWBY I have seen. I'm not joking. In terms of writing, and the plot progression, and then the characters, this was by far the best fucking episode of RWBY, in my opinion. The reveals, and then that conclusion at the end, was too much. If I am correct, this is the last episode of RWBY we're getting for about another 2 weeks. So this is probably the last episode of RWBY for 2015, which is a god-awful cliffhanger. Because that finale, oh my god. But I want to save that for a few moments. I'm just going to talk about the plot reveals. The plot reveals are gigantic. It is unbelievably gigantic. The reveal of the fairy tale. That foreshadowing Rooster Teeth did, I have to commend them. Let me explain. When the trailers of RWBY first came out, like, let's do an example. When the white trailer and then the red trailer first came out for RWBY, I saw many people in the comments, myself included, we were discussing how these trailers looked exactly like a fairy tale. For instance, RWBY, the red trailer, looked like Little Red Riding Hood. And the white trailer looked like Snow White. And Rooster Teeth, of course, denied these claims. I remember them denying it. But now seeing how fairy tales are playing a part in the plot, that was probably just a way for Rooster Teeth to throw us off. Because we are introduced to this fairy tale. This fairy tale about 4 maidens. These 4 maidens were helpful to this old man in the past. Thousands of years ago, or centuries ago. And they helped him out. And because they were so kind and nice to this old man, he gave them a gift. Each individual one of them a gift. And they gained enormous power. And this power, of course, was the ability to use magic. Now, not just any type of magic, because many would think, oh, doesn't our characters already use magic to begin with? No, they have to use dust. And with the reveal of this episode, we come to find out that these maidens, the people that were given this power, don't need to use dust. That means they have no limitations. That's the best way to put it. It reminds me of Moggy, actually. It reminds me a lot of Moggy. It does. If you've ever read that series, you know exactly what I'm talking about. How Moggy have this limitless supply of magic. It kind of reminds me of that. And when I saw that in this episode, I'm like, yo, Rooster Teeth, you're throwing those bombshells out there. Like, damn, the reveal of the plot. But let's get back into the fairy tale stuff. So that foreshadowing with the Red Riding Hood to the, Snow White, and then seeing how it was done with the fairy tale in this episode with the 4 maidens helping out this old man and then given power, I was really intrigued. And that was a really cool twist that Rooster Teeth did, and I commend them for that. I really commend Rooster Teeth for turning this into a very dark series, actually. This turned into a little bit of a dark series, especially with that ending. But like I said, I'll say it for a moment. Let's get back more into the fairy tale. So, the way this fairy tale works, or the maidens work, if you die and you have this power, the last person you think of, if it's a woman, will gain that power. So, this kind of makes it to where we know our villain is a female. But also, here's the thing. That means only females could get this ability. For instance, only maidens can get the ability to have limitless magic. And with that, it's a pretty dangerous power. It's a very dangerous power in the wrong hands. And on top of this, the way it works is how if you die, it goes to the next person, it passes down. So it's not like bloodline related. For instance, let's just say I was female, for instance, okay? And I was about to die, I had the maiden power, and I was thinking of some random Chibi. And then you got that power. That's kind of how it would be. And it's not bloodline related, so this can be abused. It can be very abused. Like, the abuse is real for this type of power. Because if they're villains or crooks, like major villains, which we already seen it starting to develop that they want this power, all they need to do is kill off the maidens and then have the other new 4 people gain that ability. You know what I'm curious about? I'm curious if all the maiden abilities could be in one body. That wasn't really actually said at all. It was not said if that's possible or not. That wasn't denied either. I wonder if it's possible all these maiden powers could go into one body. Imagine the power you would have. See, if one allows you to not even be able to use dust, like you could just use magic without dust, how would it be if all four were in one body? See, there's a lot of plot advancement that Rooster Teeth could do here, which is very intriguing. I hope they continue down this path, because this is what I've wanted for a long time. A very, very serious plot. Now, we're getting into some serious shit now. Like, you feel the tension in this episode, because with the reveal of Amber being fall, having, like, the maiden fall, and Amber on death's door, and the reveals that it's possible that that power can be forced into Pyrrha, and Pyrrha has to make a decision. Does she want to take this risk of losing herself for this power and never being herself again? I mean, there is a lot of questions riding on this answer that Pyrrha has to make. And I wonder where it's going to go, because I'm all for a mentally fucked up character. I love characters like that. Look, Tokyo Ghoul. And when I have a character that has different personalities inside their body, two souls, one body, I can't help but get a little bit excited. And that's exactly what this episode is doing for me. And then you give me the stuff at the end of the episode with Yang attacking someone and breaking his leg. Now, okay, we know Yang is innocent. Us, the viewer, know Yang is innocent. We know she's not an evil person. We know she didn't just straight up attack that guy and try to kill him or break his leg purposely. That dude had evil intention. And they used hypnosis on Yang. So Yang was manipulated to look like the bad guy here. And the sad thing is RWBY, Weiss, and Blake, they saw this. And they know that she did that, and it looks like she was the villain in that part. She just attacked a person that was just trying to run up to her. So, that cliffhanger, Yang is in some deep shit. Some really deep shit. And then don't even get me started with the Grimm at the end of the episode. Like, you see the fucking intelligent Grimm at the end. So, the bombshells that were dropped on an entirely new level. Best episode of RWBY. It's going to be hard to beat this episode. It really is going to be hard. Because the plot advancement was enough for me just to say, my god. This is why I've been waiting for so long for RWBY. Like, Rooster Teeth's good writers. Like, look at that final scene of Red vs. Blue. The latest season. Look at that final fucking scene of the Red vs. Blue season they had recently. That speaks for itself. The writing in that final scene of Red vs. Blue's latest season was too much for me, man. I had a tear come down my eye, because I've been following that series for a long time. And then this right here, they're on their A game. Rooster Teeth's writers are on their A game right now. They need to continue this, and I hope they continue down this path, and they go into a very serious story, because we're getting into war. And it's been foreshadowed and hinted at for a long time. And let's see how Rooster Teeth handles it. They have a lot of potential here. Let's hope they don't waste it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.